बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये टोफल सीरीज़ फॉर द बिगिनर का लेसन है। आज हम इसमें कॉमनली मिसयूज्ड वर्ड्स को इन डेप्थ स्टडी करेंगे। सो विदाउट फर्दर अड्यू लेट्स स्टार्ट द लिस्ट ऑफ दोज कॉमनली मिसयूज्ड वर्ड्स। Starting off with the first one, which is angel, a noun, which means a spiritual or a heavenly being. And the same spelling with a little twist, which is angle. It is also a noun, which means which is a figure formed by the two lines meeting at a common point, is called an angle. Then comes the three words, which is sight with C. It's a verb, which means a quote as an example. Sight again with S, which is a noun, which means a location, and the same pronunciation sight, but with a different spelling, is a noun, and it's a device used to assist aim, view, and see. Then come costume, which is a noun, which means a clothing, and a custom with a little slight difference in arrangement of the words. In the spelling, custom is also a noun, which means a practice that is traditionally followed by a particular group of people. So the one is costume and the other is custom. Then comes decent, which is adjective, which means a respectable or suitable. And the other is descent, which is a noun, which means downward motion or lineage. Downward motion or lineage. Now comes the three words. One is dessert, which is a noun, which is a sweet dish. Then comes a desert with a single S, which is a hot, dry place. And then again comes a desert, which is an abandon, which means to leave something. It's an abandon. So the three words: dessert, desert, dry place, and then desert, which means to abandon. After deserting his post, the soldiers ran away from the camp. So it's about leaving something. Then comes the two words. One is later, which is an adverb, which means a time in the future of following a previous action. And the other is latter with the double T. It's an adjective. It's the last of the two things mentioned. The last one between the two mentioned things is known as latter. Now comes another one, which is loose with double O. Is its adjective. It means opposite of tight. And the other one is loose with single O. It's a verb. It means to be unable to find something opposite of when. It means something to find opposite of when. Two words. One is past, which is a verb, which means elapse, go by or beyond, or succeed. And the other one is past with the T. It's an adjective. It's a time or event before the present. It's a time before present. Then comes two words, which is peace, noun, and the other one is peace with I, which is also a noun. So the one peace with E means harmony or peace from war, tranquility. And the other one is peace with an I, which is also a noun, which means a part of a whole. So be watchful about when you're writing the word peace with an E and the one with an I. Then comes the two very well known misused words. One is principal with an A, both pronounced the same. The principal with an A means a director of an elementary or secondary school. And the principal with PLE, which is also a noun, is actually a fundamental rule or adherence to such a rule. So principal with an A is a noun, which is for the elementary school director, and the principal with PLE instead is also a noun. It's actually a fundamental rule or adherence to such a rule. Now here comes the three more words which are commonly misused. One is quiet with QUIET. It's an adjective. It means a secret without noise. And then comes the same quiet with a slight difference in the spelling. It's an adverb. It means completely, somewhat, or the other. And then comes the quit with no E whatsoever. It's a verb, which means to stop, to halt something. There we have two more words, more commonly misused words. One is called stationary with NARY. It's an adjective, which means non-movable. And the other one is stationary, which is the same pronunciation pretty much, with a slight difference in the spelling with E after N instead of an A. And this is a noun. And that means actually special writing paper. It's a special writing paper thing. It's stationary, and the one is stationary. So one is about the non-movable, static one, and the other is something which is writing paper. Now comes the two more commonly misused words. Both sounds the same. One is then with an A, which is a conjunction, means used in unequal comparisons. One is bigger than the other, kind of then, and the other one is sound the same then, but with an E. It's an adverb instead, and it is a time following a previously mentioned time. It's a time following a previously mentioned time. There we have three words commonly misused. One is there with THEIR. This is an adjective. It's a plural possessive adjective. It's a plural possessive adjective. Then comes they are. That's how it sounds, but it's actually pronoun plus verb. The R is contracted here, so it's a contraction of they are. The third one is there, which is an adverb, and it's a location away from here, used with the verb be to indicate the existence. Then we have three more words commonly misused. One is to, which is a preposition. It means towards, until, or as far as. The second word is to with W. It's a noun with adjective. It's a numbering following one. It's a number following one. Then the T with double O, to, it's an adverb, and it means excessively or also. So be watchful about when you're writing to is a single O and the one with the double O. Then comes two more words, which is weather, which is a noun, and it means atmospheric conditions. The weather with no H after W is a noun which means atmospheric conditions. However, the weather with H and with no A, as you can see on your screen, it's actually a conjunction, and it means an if or indicates a choice, whether this or the other, whether here or somewhat other place. So this weather with H is actually a conjunction, and the weather with WEA is a noun which means atmospheric conditions. So be watchful about, because these all confusing words have pretty much the same pronunciation but a slight difference in their spellings and with loads of difference in their meanings together regardless. There we have two more words on your screen. One is whose, WHOSE, which is a pronoun. It's a possessive relative pronoun or adjective. On the flip, whose with apostrophe S is actually a relative pronoun with a verb. It's actually the contraction of who with S or who with has. So who is or who has can be written like this, but it's when it's being spoken in a speech, in the conversation, it's known as whose. But the two whose have the different meanings altogether. There comes the last two words on your screen. One is your. It's an adjective. It's actually the possessive of you, and we have a lot of series, whole good of lesson about the pronoun types. So this is the possessive of you. And on the flip, the your, which is also sounds like your, is actually the pronoun with a verb, and it's actually the contraction of you are. You are. So this is all about the commonly misused words. I hope this all makes sense by now. For the greater clarity, we'll dive into the exercise. It's an exercise of 20 questions. इसमें आपको हर sentence में parentheses में दो options given हैं for of the commonly misused words in your parentheses. So complete the meaning of the sentence, find the correct word, whatever make the right sense in the sentence, because we commonly misuse these words. So we are given in every sentence the two misused words in the parentheses. You have to pick one. So just pause your video here, find the right answer out of these 10 questions. Then I will flip to the other 10 questions, and then finally we'll start off with the answers. 10 more questions on your screen, so just pause your video here and find the right answer from these parentheses, and then we'll start the answers. So for those who are done with the questions of an exercise by now, we'll start off with the answers now. The first question was, a beautiful angel adorned their Christmas tree. It's not an angle, it's an angel instead. So the green highlighted one are the correct answers. Question 2, I have your notes here, but I cannot find mine. It's about the possession for the notes. It's not about it's not the pronoun with the verb. Then third question, the rescuers were a welcome sight for those trapped on the snow-covered mountains. It's for the sight, it's not for the other two. Question 4, who's supposed to supply the refreshments for tonight's meeting, or who is supposed to supply the refreshments for tonight's meeting? It's actually contraction of who with is. Question 5, it's a custom in the United States to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. It's not a costume, it's a traditional practice. Then comes question 6, whether we drive or fly depends on the length of our vacation. It's not the weather of atmospheric conditions, it's if. Question 7, Pasquale is of French descent, but his cousin is English. It's not about decent, it's about their descent. Question 8 is Dr. Hippel will not be coming to the meeting because he has too many papers to grade. One is preposition to and the other is about excessive amount of papers to be graded. Question 9. Although my mother never eats dessert, it's not about the desert, it's about the dessert, the Swedish. I prefer something sweet. Question 10. I guess they are not interested because we have not heard from them. So it's actually the contraction of they are. In March, teach in kindergarten. The letter works in Putnam. It means we are referring to March. Question 12. Isaac Asimov's science books are more easily understood than most scientists. So it's about the comparison of Isaac Asimov's books with the rest of the books available. Question 13. The fender on Scene's bike came loose and had to be tightened. So it's the opposite of the tight, which is loose and not loose. Question 14 is nobody had any stationery, so we had to use notebook paper to write the letter. It's not about the stationery static, it's about the stationery, the noun, the paperwork, a special paper of writing. Question 15, the hikers had passed many hours waiting to be rescued. It's something passed by. It's nothing about the past from the present. Now comes question 16. Lisa had to quit eating apples after the orthodontist put braces on her teeth. So it's about quitting eating apples. So it's about quit. It's not quite, and neither this one. Question 17. After any war, the world desires a lasting peace. So this is about tranquility. It's not about this peace with an I, which means a part of a whole. Question 18 is Albert Einstein expressed his principle of relativity. This is a noun which is for the director of an elementary school, but this means the fundamental rule. Question 19, Marcia was quite tired after the long walk to class. So this is about neither of these two, it's about excessively tired. Or final question of the exercise, you must remember to cite your reference when you write a paper. So this is about the cite with a C. So I hope this all makes sense by now. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and share with your friends and family. Thanks for watching.